Good morning, everyone. It is currently the 22nd of September 2011, approximately 0900 Japan Standard Time at the time of this video update. But we are continuing to watch Typhoon Roke. Did make a very long day for much of us across Japan yesterday. It is moving very quickly, about 36 knots off towards the northeast here, racing just past Hokkaido. Current sustained winds with it are still 70 knots, gusting up to 100 knots, so still a very intense system. But good news for people up here in Hokkaido is that it is going to move by very quickly as it moves off towards the northeast, towards the Kuril Islands. So good news there, because those durations of those max sustained winds don't look like they're going to last very long this morning across Hokkaido. But also good news is that much of Honshu and southern Japan seeing absolutely beautiful weather today. Actually, my location here on the Kanto Plain, one of the nicest days I've seen in a while. Temperatures have gone down here across Japan. Clear skies and absolutely pleasant weather out there right now. There are still a few pockets of rain showers though along the west coast. Basically, most of this is due to adiabatic cooling and that orographic lifting as that outflow kind of ramps around as it runs into the west coast there. So you still could see some rain showers out here and some thunderstorms, but overall though, the rest of Honshu, as indicated on the radar here, is very clear all the way down towards Kyushu and Shikoku as well, where they saw over about 400 to 500 millimeters of rainfall in certain locations here over the past several days. So a really devastated area there. There is a lot of reports of flooding out here over swelled rivers. Have not seen any reports of any mudslides at this point, yet I am very sure that some probably did take place out here due to the instability already of the ground, since most of that area was already saturated. And once you get that area saturated, the under part of the ground starts to slip and it will get displaced and fall down the mountain. And hopefully we do not see any reports of that, but definitely still is a very high potential and a risk there. So I would not be surprised at all if some reports still came out of mudslides. Also, some mudslides from the last system that came through, Typhoon Tala, caused some natural dams that caused in some of the rivers and some lakes down there and around the Key Peninsula region. And those actually, NHK World was reporting that those might overflow. So just another thing I do want to mention on that is that I have not seen any reports of those actually overflowing, but there was a lot of reports yesterday of those really getting close and potential risk of doing so. But these are just some photos from around the region here showing severe weather that took place yesterday. There have been reports from 4 to 13 deaths out here, so really no confirmation on the exact amount of casualties from the storm, but it is a deadly storm nonetheless and really kind of a sad situation. And most of these were due to the heavy precipitation as indicated here on the trim satellite. This is going back one whole week here. You see Typhoon Roke continuing to spin down here, and then it starts to move off towards the north. The highest amount of precipitation really over Japan here as it made landfall specifically around Kyushu and over towards the Key Peninsula. You see some of these areas actually in purple. Now this is really why we are seeing those flooding reports down south, and we continue to get the damage assessment. Actually over 1,000 to 2,000 actually homes now inundated by rainfall down there, and it continues, the numbers continue to come in and rise. But not only the rains, but the winds also did cause some damage. Actually, in my area up here in the Kanto Plain, just off Tokyo Bay, saw a lot of high winds yesterday. If you check my YouTube channel, you can see some of those videos I took. But also woke up this morning to the sounds of chainsaws, and so some of the trees outside fell down. So this was a very strong storm as far as the wind. But at landfall, though, showing here very strong eye, did make landfall yesterday just prior to 1400 near Toyohashi or Hamamatsu, and then began to pick up the pace and move very quickly. Now this is showing the GFS outlook on this storm. Over the next 24 hours it is going to continue to run off towards the northeast, go up past the Kuril Islands and head up towards Kamchatka, way off the map here. Shows a frontal boundary lingering offshore, well off towards the Iwato and Iwo Jima. Here you're going to be seeing some rain showers, but this area of high pressure is going to continue to move in. It's going to suppress a lot of the rainfall across much of Japan here. You still could see some pockets of rain showers across much of the region here. Basically, as a lot of that cold air wraps around and hits the mountains, you could see some rain showers. But also, I do want to take a second to mention some of the invests down here towards the south. You can see some of these closed off circulations right here near the Marianas, and another one in the South China Sea. And if we scroll out towards next weekend, some of these models actually are picking up on these systems possibly developing. And look at this one right here heading out towards Okinawa, and then it starts to recurve. Good news there as it gets picked up by the area of high pressure off here towards the northeast, and a trough, a low pressure located just off of Japan here. It should turn towards the northeast if it does develop and follows this track. So just looking out towards that, it does deepen and does develop per this model guidance. Now this is very long range. This is actually taking you out till next Thursday, so about a week out here. But another thing I do want to mention, it is still September out here in the Western Pacific, peak typhoon season, and there still is a potential for more systems developing in the near future. But here's one last look at the track of Typhoon Roke. It is moving off and across the Kuril Islands today, away from much of the populated areas, and looks like that fair weather is going to start to come in place. So really good news there following this absolutely deadly and devastating system. But that is all for right now, everyone. Thanks again for listening to WesternPacificWeather.com, and thanks again as well for your continued support during the duration of this event. As noted earlier, though, if you want to go to the YouTube channel, you can check out some of the videos I took yesterday of the storm footage. And also, I do want to mention, I am also posting this at storm2k.org. Plenty of discussion going on there on this storm. But also, please go and check westernpacificweather.com. You can post your questions and comments there as well. So stay safe, everyone. Continue to watch the storm as it tracks off the northeast, and let's continue to watch the tropics down towards the south. And have a good day.